Oh, it's me, the Wizard Mage. How are you? Woohoo! Yeah! Wah-ha! Yahoo! Wah-ha! Today we're playing Wizardry V, Heart of the Maelstrom. What a cool subtitle indeed. Return of the Game Genie? That's just for Koei games. Come on, please. Hey, I beat Dungeon Master and Eye of the Beholder fair and square. This ain't my first rodeo. We'll see how far this goes. Smashy, welcome. It is a cool subtitle, isn't there? A settle down red. I will happily be Super Mario any day of the week. You know, people will always tell me, they're like, Super Mario is an everyman. I was like, name one man that you've ever met who is as welcoming, as forgiving, as selfless, as energetic, as happy as Super Mario 100% of the time. Nobody. Come on. Every man. He's like the ideal man, more like. James, how's it going, Jamesy? Time for the mage to become the wizard. We're going to play Wizardry. This is actually my first Wizardry ever. I have never played Wizardry. I've played Ultima. I've played a little bit of Baldur's Gate in the past. I've played... I've never played Might and Magic. Tell me more about my ideal man. Look at Super Mario. That's it. With his one ab. Done. And his mustache. But this is Wizardry 5, Heart of the Maelstrom. I've been told by many folk that this is going to go great. Yeah, that this will be the hardest thing that there is. So what we're going to do here is spend a little time at the start of the stream to read through the manual. Now, I normally don't do that, but we're going to go ahead and do it for this game in particular. There are a couple games where I don't suspect that they're going to convey everything that needs to be conveyed in the story itself. So pulling up the manual, if you'd like to play along. I don't know if this will like actually work for you, but whew, what a link. Look at that thing. That's a mess. What website is this again? Oh, it's Internet Archive. It's Internet Archive. Why? It's a messy link. Anyway, it opens with some narrative, so I'm going to go ahead and read that as well. I don't know if the difficulty has been smoothed out for the console version. Pretty curious it has happened for other console ports. That's true. Predict frustration before you even get into the labyrinth. All right. Well, now I have to not be frustrated just out of spite, basically. So thanks for telling me that. Baron, how's it going? I will happily accept that good luck. Thank you so much for telling me good luck. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this. Heart of the Maelstrom. You feel the effects of 3 days without food, so you step into the dilapidated tavern for some refreshment. Before you even have a chance to take a bite, the door swings open and a tall, thin man of indeterminable age steps in and glances at the faces in the room, especially at your table where others sit. You do not know that this stranger is well known here and comes to the tavern each night in a quest for strong people capable of teaming together to save the world. He asks to join you at your table, and you unknowingly invite him to spin a tale of wizardry. Welcome to our beautiful land of Lillywigwamin. I don't know how to pronounce that. Lillywigwamin. He begins, I see you are new here and have no idea how much the land, the people, and the very air we breathe have changed for the worse. If you'll allow me, I will entertain you with a tale of adventure, magic, and bravery. Everyone at the table allows him to sit, especially since he sets down several big, large bags of gold coins. Years ago, there was a hardy band of adventurers who began a quest to recover the magical orb of Lillywigwamin. I looked this up earlier, like for Welsh, like pronunciation guides. I think it was like Lithilgamin is what we're gonna say. From the awful dragon of Licbreth. The orb. This is gonna be hard. The orb was needed for health and prosperity of our land in ways we did not comprehend. Without it, earthquakes, plagues, and chaos reigned. Fortunately, the adventurers were victorious and returned the orb to us. There was great rejoicing, and once again, peace and prosperity filled the land. As time passed, though, terrible events returned. Was not the magical orb in our land safeguarded by the mystical group we call the Brotherhood? The people of Lilithgamen returned to the High Council of Sages to find the answers. An emergency meeting of the council was held, and weeks passed as the sages sat behind closed doors, testing their knowledge and magical powers. They tried to find a solution to this new danger threatening Lilithgamen. When they emerged, pale and haggard, unfortunately, they had terrible news. The stranger pauses, looks each person in the eye, and takes a quick drink of fruit juice to test his voice. A service boy refills his cup as the stranger continues. An unnatural magical vortex, the cause of all these disasters, has formed deep within the caves below the resting place of the orb, the sages warned. The balance of the four elemental forces was undone, and the nexus of the forces lies in the heart of the maelstrom. Hey, you said the title. It will grow and engulf not only our city and our country, but our entire world may be swallowed. The sages had only one recourse in this time of terrible danger. This was the gatekeeper, an archmage whose responsibility is to watch and preserve the balance between the planes of magic and the natural world. This individual, once human and now much more, might help if he will listen to mortals at all. The sages were confident that the grave danger would lead to an answer from the gatekeeper. But to their dismay, he himself was held prisoner in the very vortex they wished him to destroy. Terrified, the sages turned to the Brotherhood, whose knowledge of the mystical and magical exceeded their own. They learned of a renegade brother named Sorn, who sought to end all order in the universe. She had discovered a means to create the vortex that now threatens our land. It was she who trapped the gatekeeper and made him prisoner. She must be stopped, lest we all perish with this very world in which we live. The stranger falls into a deep silence, then lifts his head and says, I am Fontsian, one of the 12 sages of the council. The room darkens momentarily, and the stranger disappears. Before anyone has time to react, a hooded figure unwraps itself in the far corner of the room. You instinctively reach for your weapon, unsure what more to expect from this strange land. A voice, which you cannot distinguish as male or female, booms, Do not be afraid. I am Yeldab, the highest of the council sages of Lilithgamen. You need brave adventurers willing to descend into the deepest levels of the vortex. There you will face many dangers, and your strength, courage, and intellect will be tested. You must find the gatekeeper and free him from the ever-growing vortex. However, you must first defeat the evil Sorn, a mighty magician in her own right. To begin this journey, if you possess the courage to do so, seek out Ghibli Gaduk, the highest brother, who guards the secrets of the magical orb of Lilithgamen. Yeldarb continued, He can be found in the upper level of the maze just outside our city. He will tell you what he knows, but you should question him carefully to get all the information you require. Please seek his advice, because only there can your adventure truly begin. Defeat the hazard Sorn conjures up to stand in your way. Free the Archmage from the vortex, and you will free the land of its pending doom. Our wishes are with you. Go now and search for Ghibli Gaduk, the gatekeeper, and inevitably the evil Sorn. May luck be with you. And with those final words, Yildarb dissolves into darkness. Do you have the courage to challenge the heart of the Maelstrom? Ladies and gentlemen, Wizardry V, Heart of the Maelstrom. That felt like I was gearing up to run into the Legends of the Hidden Temple or something like that. I'm a little pumped now. I'm a little pumped. The days of reading the little premise there in the manual, bygone. But it's cool to have that here. If you want a modern archetype for this game, Etrian Odyssey. I had a friend who quite enjoyed that. The stream will be dedicated only to rolling stats to qualify for the advanced classes. Hey, no spoilers, by the way. No spoilers, no hand-holding. I am probably going to wind up using a guide, and I may reach out for you for tips. Etrian Odyssey looks fun. It sure does. Oh, but I can recommend better dungeons. What are your favorite modern dungeon crawlers? Orb. That's true. This is a Final Fantasy game. Capcom, yeah, I believe Capcom did the port, and they also did the port for Eye of the Beholder as well. So they had some hand in transferring in CRPGs. At some point, I think we need to have chat suggest a rapid fire voice over a suggestion for Red to try to do. Oh, like Kermit? All right, I can read the next part as Kermit. There's a little blurb here. Yildarb, how's it going, Holy Rusted Metal? Let's see. So who developed this version? Capcom published. Capcom. Now we need a boulder to chase you. Sounded like a D&D campaign. I can't imagine why, right? Okay, here's the next blurb in Kermit's voice. Welcome to the land of wizardry. Heart of the Maelstrom is the 5th scenario in the Wizardry series and carries on the exalted tradition of its predecessors. Wizardry is not just a game to play and put away. It illustrates fantasy role-playing at its finest with years of adventuring ahead of you. Journey now into the heart of the Maelstrom and let your imagination flow into a world of magic and bravery. Yay! Do you remember that episode of The Muppet Show with Mark Hamill? And Mark Hamill's like, well, you know, I do impressions. And Kermit's like, who do you do? There's a great running gag in there. He does it again for Fozzie. He's like, you know, I do impressions. And Fozzie's like, oh, really? Who do you do? That's fantastic. Okay, so starting off this game. Here we go. You should audition for Kermit. Probably sound better than the current Kermit. He sounds angry and also foreign. He sounds like, well, you know, first I came down here from the old country, and that is where I met Miss Piggy. You're like, I don't think you're Jim Henson. I'm not buying it. Okay, let's start this game. Select switch. So we got a couple options here. We can change. We can change the background color. I like black. That feels really classic. There are quite a few colors here, though. Hey, thanks for the follow, Shuggies. That's so small I can't read. Let me make that even bigger because I can't read it. Is it Shuggies or Shoggies? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Somebody, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Really like current voiceover to watch a series in that voice. Oh, okay. Hey, that's very kind of you. I think everybody should have a Muppets impression. An actual Fozzie Bear puppet? Dang. That's pretty cool. I do like Fozzie Bear. I do. Okay, sound on, music on. So there's solid and line here. That's going to affect the way that the walls look in the game. We're going to go with solid. And then let's go back to the start of the game. Okay, here we go. Start the game. Yeah. So we're going to start the game with this. So this is our basically the way that this game works out is you kind of got this starting village or castle, I guess, because it says castle. And then all of these areas here. Now, each one does a different thing, okay, before we actually get into the heart of the Maelstrom. So let's look at the thing. And I'll pull this up. Okay, upon starting the game, you'll see a menu that contains the following options. Each option refers to a place, which has its own options as well. Gilgamesh has a tavern, yeah. Welcome to hell, population U. I think you're overblowing this. Like no game is that bad. Come on. We'll manage. We'll manage, even if we have to go incrementally slow. Okay, Gilgamesh's Tavern. This place is where you can manage a party to explore the heart of the Maelstrom. This place has the following options. So let's check that out. Well, let's see what each one of these does first. Okay, the Adventure Inn is a place where you can rest your party members. You may not use the services of this area if you have no characters in your party. Makes sense, right? Can't go to sleep in the inn if you don't got anybody to sleep. Okay, next area, Baltax Trading Post, the best and only store in Lilithquaman, aside from the NPCs in the maze. You'll constantly return here to sell many goods. You may not use the services of this area if you have no characters in your party. This place has the following options. Okay, so kind of cool, too, that this game, as a first-person dungeon crawler, has got a town in it. That was a huge thing that I don't care for in a lot of dungeon crawlers. Eye of the Beholder and Dungeon Master most recently, in which I didn't really find any major towns like this, but having someplace that's safe, it feels good. It's like a comfort blanket. Then there's the Temple of Can't. Yes, you can't. If a party member has been paralyzed, petrified, or killed in the maze, the clerics at the temple may offer their services by offering a tithe to the church. The church also allows you to revive NPCs you've killed in case you need their services. Well, that would be awkward. When you enter, if a party member needs to be cured or revived, the donation cost is set alongside their name. By choosing the character or NPC to aid and then choosing who will tithe, the clerics will act their magic. Generally costs 100 gold. Reviving costs 250. Oh, curing costs 100. Reviving 250. Returning a character from ashes 500. Eventually, you may not need the temple services unless you need to revive an important NPC. Okay, and then the edge of town allows you to access the maze as well as other options. Got it. Looks like Automod doesn't speak 80s pop culture. Automod is very strict. It is very strict. Family-friendly chat. So I don't know what you posted here. It doesn't always like show me. So let's see. Yeah, no, I don't see it. Shaggles. It was Shaggles, not Shoggles. Shaggles, if you can hear me, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. Thanks for joining us. I hope you like Wizardry. We're playing through every Super Nintendo RPG released in the West. It's a good time. Good time. I think I've got 8 left. Oh boy, you can kill NPCs. Almost all dungeon crawlers have a hub town. Not the 2 most recent ones that I played. No. Vagrant Story is another one of my favorite dungeon crawlers. Does not have a hub town. So there are some significant examples that do not have hub towns. But I'm sure there are many that do. Oh boy, you can kill NPCs. I like the casual foreshadowing that you may need to cure a party member from being turned to ash. Oh, I love it. Love it. So first place is first. We got to go to... the joy of the game is how to build the perfect party to deal with the challenges of the game. The program is readily pre-programmed with 6 characters. That is 2 fighters, a thief, a cleric, a mage, and a bishop. The SNES version calls the bishop a wizard. They're named fittingly Fighter 1, Fighter 2, Thief, Mage, Cleric, Wizard. Okay. This vanilla party will work nicely for the first few levels, but eventually you want to work with a party of your own. Once you've chosen them all, you have a party fully equipped and ready for adventure. Okay, let's take a look at the classes available here. See what we got. So we're going to do add, remove, inspect, divvy gold. That's smacking of uncharted waters right there. Douglas, Maxwell, Philip, and Thor. This is like somebody's saved game. So how do I'm going to actually go ahead and remove these characters. Maybe not. First things first is getting a hang of the control scheme. But it looks like we're not allowed to remove or inspect. So these must... I don't know. I don't know what we're looking at here. We're going to add... Okay, there's our fighter. Interesting. I do like me a hub town. Those ones you just mentioned are typical dungeon crawlers. The game called Dungeon Master? I don't know that I've ever heard anybody call Dungeon Master an atypical dungeon crawler, but that's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. That's like one of the definitive retro dungeon crawlers. Like the best-selling Amiga game of all time. Come on, dude. On the blabba? Okay, all right. I'll take your word for it. There's no point in getting into another pointless argument here. Wizardry's roots away deeper. All right, so we got fighter, thief, cleric, mage, bishop, or wizard. Okay. So in order to add full cure, though, I'm not sure what all this is. Because basically I just popped this cart in. I have no idea what all any of this does. Training grounds, restart and out party. Leave game. I guess I was going to take you back to think. What does this do? Oh, don't act like an expert in a genre you've barely played. The audacity of coming in here. There should be a way. I since you're such an expert, maybe you could tell me how. All I'm pushing back against is that there are significant, plenty of examples of dungeon crawlers that do not have hub towns. I can't believe the statement, almost all dungeon crawlers have hub towns. Like, you don't have the stats on that. Come on. Yeah, no, I figured that out. Move is to remove characters from your current party. Okay, at the risk of Mr. Temper annoying me with this game already, let me just read this and we'll figure out what it says. Okay, add in the tavern allows you to add a character to your party. Your party is comprised of 6 such characters. First 3 in the list conforming the front row and the other 3 conforming the back. There's 4. Removes a character from your party. Inspect brings a character status screen. Obviously, we can't do that because we don't got anybody in our party right now. So what I'm curious about is this right here at Edge of Town. So let's see. By entering the Edge of Town, a new set of options appears. Okay, so there's Maze, the entrance to the labyrinth, the dungeon. You need to form a party in order to enter. Training grounds. While Gilgamesh's Inn allows you to create and manage a party, the training grounds allows you to create and manage characters individually. This will be an important area, one that you'll revisit various times. This area has the following options. Create. This option, so let's go here. Here we go. Create. While this option allows you to create a new character. Using this option, you may create a customized character with your chosen name, race, class, and attributes. This option allows you to revise all characters you've created. Inspect. In case you need to know which one has the item you need. Unlike the inspect option on the Gilgamesh's Inn, this option allows you to revise all characters but not equip them or trade items using them. All right, delete. That should be pretty obvious. Deleting an unwanted character. We could change the name. We could change their class. Allows you to change a character's class so long as they fit the requirements to enter. Thus, a fighter that is particularly devoted may become a cleric, or if particularly suited, a samurai or lord. Do note that choosing a new class forces you to start from first level. So if you're comfortable with the character's class, cancel. Delete all of the everything everywhere. Oh, chat is going. I got so much I got to catch up on here. 95.67% have hub towns? Baloney. Just pulling like a number out of thin air. The original was from all the way back in 91 to form a lot of the game. That's on an old engine. That delete is pretty crusty and got streamed. I think if you delete everyone and select delete again, it offers to reset the cart. Bingo, Baron. How's it going, Dan? Delete all everything everywhere. Okay. I'm not through reading through this yet. Okay, character class, as long as they fit the requirements. Fighter that's particularly devoted may become a cleric. And reorder allows you to reorganize the order in which the characters you've created appear. Restart an out party. If you've left a party within the maze, this option allows you to continue your progress. Interesting. This option merely allows you to turn off the console safely. Okay. You press the A button in order to cancel the option in the PC version. This option basically ends the game, closes the window. I didn't know there was going to be like an unplugging USB here. Okay. What do you want to make a perfect party? The right party. You're not playing it right. There's going to be a lot of that in this game, I could guarantee. Well, a set of 1 cleric, 1 mage, 1 bishop wizard works well. In the end game, you want as many people with spells as possible. Thus, it is in your best interest to customize your party so that, in the end, you have many spellcasters as possible. Brief explanation of every class appears. Okay, so let's hit here. And let's, you know what? Oh, I like that little cursor. Let's do this. Hopefully it fits. Oh, yeah. Take that, JRPGs. Okay. So the fighter is the main melee combatant, able to equip the best weapons and armor. Humans and dwarves make solid warriors with gnomes being a distant third. They only need a strength of 11, and they get the fastest progression of attacks in-game, which translates to better damage. However, in the endgame, they're easily replaced with other, better classes. The Thief is a subpar warrior which can only use a few weapons, namely short swords and a few ranged weapons. They can ambush in battle after a successful hide, which doubles their damage, but for what you really want them for is disabling traps and picking locks. You need a agility of 11 on your character to make one, and hobbits get that naturally. Oh, I know what we're going to do here. Elves also make good thieves because their IQ their IQ aids on identifying traps and disabling them safely. Remember, a thief can only be neutral or evil, not good, so calculate well. For purposes of safety, you'll want to have a thief on your party always, since they're the best trap diffusers around. Okay, Cleric, an invaluable resource. The Cleric is the master of healing and protective magics. They also have the ability to dispel the undead, and they have a good bit of equipment as they can wear chainmail and wield various bludgeoning weapons. Clerics have a piety of 11, making dwarves and gnomes the best choices for them. Get 2 or 3 and make sure at least one turns into a lord, one turns into a wizard, and well, the other one could be a thief or ninja if you want. I like to throw ninja in here. In fact, all your main party members should have a degree of clerical experience. Do have in mind, though, that cleric cannot be neutral. Faith lays in the extremes, not in balance. Mage, another invaluable source. The mage is the master of combat magic. However, that's all they bring to the table. Good attack spells. Litofit to float amongst traps, and eventually Malor to teleport. Mages need an IQ of 11, making elves the obvious choice. You'll want at least 3 so you can turn one into a samurai, another into a wizard, and another into your thief or ninja, so you can get 3 sources of mage magic. In fact, all your main party members should have a degree of magical experience. I see a theme here. Boo, you can't be a good thief. All right. Okay, let me see here. Okay, reset the cart after doing what? Because I haven't really done anything yet. And I've reset this a couple times already. Today, I mean. Okay, one of the first valuable classes in the game is the Bishop Wizard. The Wizard is like a cleric and a mage mixed into one. The Wizard can equip things like a cleric, dispel the undead, cast both clerical and mage spells. However, their unique trait is that they can identify items for the party with a degree of failure. To create a wizard, you need to have your character get an IQ and a piety of 12, which is 1 more than the basic cleric or mage. You should aspire to have 2 wizards in your party, both with maximum amounts of mage and cleric spells, at least one emerging from a cleric 13 and another from a mage 13, so you can get a very flexible party. As with clerics, a wizard or bishop must be either good or evil, as is the requirement for one of the classes. Samurai, another very valuable class in the game. The samurai is like a fighter and a mage mixed into one. The samurai can't equip all the items a fighter can, but it has access to a wide and unique selection, including the incredible katanas, the naginata, and various items such as the bushi scale. Bushi is fun to say. After a certain amount of levels, 5 to be exact, the samurai starts learning mage spells at a very slow rate. To create a samurai, a character should have a strength of 15, an IQ of 11, piety of 10, vitality of 14, and an agility of 10, making them very rare. Dwarves make good samurai. Ooh, as do humans. You may want to have your prospective samurai spend a few moments as a mage so that they may start to learn a few mage spells as they keep progressing. They'll get more slots and eventually progress their spells much faster. A samurai must not begin as an evil character, but it may stay as a neutral character. If you're incredibly lucky, you may get the 2 most demanding classes around. However, you may have to wait for later and probably make some characters with great stats to pull them off. That is the Lord and the Ninja. Having said all this, what should you get for the latter levels? You need at least 3 people that can fight in the front row, and particularly those with high AC scores. That's why 2 fighters are nice, but in the end, you'll want at least 1 lord and 1 samurai at the top. 2 lords and a samurai will be nearly untouchable. You should have a thief at the top or a very high-level ninja without armor as well. A trap diffuser. This means you need a ninja or a thief on the party to cover this essential task. At least 3 sources each of clerical spells and mage spells. In the case of clerical spells, you'll want at least 2 people who can cast D, the life spell, which will also net them La Tumapic, Lomilwa, and Maporfic, so that your party has a semi-permanent light source. Identify all enemies and have better AC. You also want at least 3 mage spells. Use 3 mage spell users in order to get a consistent amount of attack spells, such as the Halito fire line of spells, Halito, Malito, Mahalito, and Lahalito, to deal with as many creatures as you can. At least 1 should be powerful enough to cast Lokara, Earthquake, which will serve as your first attack all spell, so that you can deal with groups of 24 to 32 enemies very easily. You'll also need their services for Palios, Dispel Magic, Cortu, and Cantios Disable. The more spells you have at your disposal, the better chance of survival you'll have, and the less time you'll need to spend at the city. Perfect party should have at least 1 samurai, 1 lord, 1 ninja, and 1 wizard. The remaining 2 depending on exclusively on class choice, but at least 1 thief should be there in order to use L-range weapons. The ninja works as well as a thief, but remember that to take advantage of the its AC boost, it requires being unarmed. Okay, so that's a lot, obviously. Okay, now let me catch up on chat. Okay. You have to delete all the characters in order to reset progress in the dungeon. Not press the reset button, but delete all the old characters and then delete again, like I said. So, cool. I plan to delete all of the old characters. Douglas and William and whatever they had. I don't want that crap around here. Not around my parts. Gonna be rough to get one of those. Get ready for a lot of rerolls. Wee! Useful that guy's giving you the requirements for advanced classes. In this game, there's 1 save file currently in someone else's save. Yeah, the Douglas and stuff like that, right? To reset the progress, you need to delete everyone, then delete again to trigger save file deletion. Otherwise, you may have the dungeon already completed. I waltzed in here earlier today, and they had a full party of things that were standing in front of a door. So yeah, we definitely don't want that. We want to start at the start of the game. Wizardry games, to the best of my knowledge, thieves are better at disarming than ninja. Okay. All right. Let's, oh, it's not going to let me go back. I thought it was going to let me go back. Let's just do this. That's cool that it shows you that. It gives you a sense of what those are. No. Okay. So now let's do some deletion. So we got Douglas, Maxwell, Sean, Paul, Philip, and Thor. Philip with 1 L. Okay, goodbye, my friends. It's been nice knowing you. Feels bad to delete somebody else's save on a thing, on a console, but that's just going to be the way that it is. Okay, press reset switch. Capcom is an authorized distributor right there. Oh, it's got my favorite version of the Capcom logo. All right, start game. Now, here's all the basic dudes. Fighter 1, Fighter 2, Cleric, Thief, Mage, Wizard. Okay, I would like to do this. And this is what I'm going to do. Training grounds. Okay. Let's get a cart dumper. No, I'm not in the business of spending money for sentimentality. How much is a cart dumper? Or is that just you take the cart and throw it in the trash? Just why don't you go through all the character creation and find out you have to restart completely. No, I got it. Thanks very much for the good looking out on that tip. Because yeah, that would be pretty irritating to do all that and then have to do it all over again. Ooh. Okay. Let me pull up a little scratch pad here. So here's what I'd like to do for Wizardry 5. Yesterday I was asked what I thought the nerdiest fandom is. And I was asked to compare Tolkien and Star Trek. And I should have said Uncharted Waters, but that's a missed opportunity. In light, though, of being the nerdiest fandom, not the cringiest, but the nerdiest, we're going to go with Lord of the Rings names, because of course we are. We've got 6 here that we could do, and they're going to be Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf. Not Gandalf. If you hear somebody say Gandalf, punch him in the mouth. Gandalf. Frodo. And then we've got a 6th spot. I'm not really sure who I want to put there. Learned it from you, my friend. I have learned from the best. Okay. So we'll start with this. Now, we know Aragorn is going to be a human. My goal for him is to make him a lord. But he's going to start off as a cleric before that. Aragorn, of course, King Elisar. He had the power of healing and the gift of healing, so that checks out. Gimli is going to be a dwarf. He is probably going to... I'm going to try and have him be our samurai eventually. Or I could have Legolas be our samurai. But it did say that dwarves are pretty good at being samurai, if I'm remembering correctly. So maybe... Maybe Legolas can be the ninja. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, tell that to Tolkien, who spent reams of paper telling you exactly how to spell and pronounce Gandalf. Depends. The most recent one I got, Retro Blaster Mini. They need to get third-party device names under control. First, can I say that? Retro Blaster Mini is a wild name. But 65 plus 9 is a lot of money just to save some guy's thing. I got this from a nurse who worked at a hospital, and he was selling it, and I picked it up. Agent Smith. No, don't be dumb. They should have spelled it Gandalf. Retro 2. See, there's another title. Doesn't make any sense. Option $100? All right. Anyway, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Okay. The final spot, feeling we can either do Boromir or Sam, but that's going to depend on our needs. Frodo is going to be a hobbit, and he's going to be a thief. A thief. Gandalf is going to be a wizard, of course. Don't be stupid. We'll make him an elf, so we can take advantage of the attributes for an elf there, because I think that's what I remember reading. Wizard is like a mix of cleric and mage. I don't know that it said that, actually. Tirams. You know what we're talking about, don't you, Mr. Temper? I don't know. I don't know if you just tuned in, but we're talking about saving the save file on this cart, not can you access the game. Everybody's heard of ROMs. Obviously, this is the last time you can stick your foot in my door. The cool thing Retro 2 does, though, is it hooks straight up to PC with SNES controller ports. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you're so evangelistic over here. Come on, Tempe. Unless you're looking to back your own games, I can't recommend spending it. No, yeah. I like to keep the previous owner's thing alive if I can, but not for that kind of money. We will burn it down. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my best guesses here, and then I will kind of ask for your opinions as we move through my list. Okay. I would like another lord, so maybe we'll have Boromir be another human, fighter, and eventually a lord. And then it'd be funny if he dies. Oh, yeah. And a lot of these carts that I'm using have been gifts from people who are interested in this project, this series through every Super Nintendo RPG. So I feel like it's respectful to preserve their save if I can. I did that specifically for Lufia. But this cart is just not gonna happen. Okay, so here's what I got written down so far. Let me drop it here in chat. Y'all can tell me what you think with your little nitpicking selves. There we go. Oh man, it didn't break it down by line, so that's a little hard to look at, but it's there. It's there. We've got Aragorn as a human cleric, and he'll eventually be a lord, hopefully. I don't know. Gimli is going to be a dwarf, eventually a samurai. I guess we should start him off as a cleric and then turn him into a mage or a fighter and then get him to be a samurai. Gandalf is going to start off as a mage, and Legolas is going to start off as a mage, and he'll eventually be a wizard. So again, that's Aragorn, human cleric, eventually a lord. Gimli, dwarf fighter, eventually a samurai. Legolas, elf mage, eventually a ninja. Gandalf, elf mage, eventually a wizard. Frodo is going to be a hobbit thief. And then Boromir is going to be a human fighter lord. So what do we think about those bits? Is this doable? This is a strategy. I don't know. I haven't played this one before. I'm gonna pretend like I'm an expert over here. But that's them's the plan. Them's the plan. I got a whole thing over here that shows you know what all breaks down into class requirements and crap. There's like a whole grid. But I don't know. Not sure. Not sure. Let me sip my tea. Today I'm drinking Yorkshire Gold. It's quite good. I had it when I was in England, and I love this tea. Tastes like. It's a good plan, but I expect them all to die. That's what they said at Helm's Deep. And look at how that turned out. Is there a way to make them not die? There's a question. So if we could do that, I don't know if it's a good party. That's what they said at the Alamo. Look at how that turned out. Okay, we're just going to roll with it. I don't want to be backseated anyway, so a little advice is fine. I'm reaching out. I'm begging you. Okay. Let's just do it. We're gonna do a push the wrong button. Okay, Aragorn, also known as Elisar, also known as Strider, also known as, he's got another name I can't remember. Create this character. He's going to be human. Sure. How important is this for, like, if I wanted to be a lord? It has to be good if he wants to be a lord. So we're going to make him good. I would rather do anything than put Mr. Temper in shotgun. No offense to you. But there's absolutely no way that we're putting Mr. Temper in charge of the strategy of a stream. It's impossible. The dude's lied. He's trolled. There's no way. There's no way. Not going to happen. I think the way I'd build things out would be 2 fighter classes, a cleric, a thief, and 2 mages. Oh, that's what we've got right here. We've got a human cleric, a dwarf fighter, a human fighter, an elf mage, and a hobbit thief. I think that's how we'll do. The longest series? Nice. I want now, because I spent like a month on Lufia 2. It was a long time. It was a long time. Ancient Cave was so good. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so then he's going to be neutral. And then we want him to be a fighter at the start here. Or no, this one, let me see. I'm glad I wrote this down because I'm already forgetting. He's going to be a cleric. So we're going to try and get him to be... no, couldn't do it. So now if I were to reset here, I could get a reroll, right? Is that how it works? Aragon. Human good. There we go. Okay, that's what I wanted. So we can start him off as a cleric. And my eventual goal is to make him a lord. He's got 9 luck, 8 agility, 8 vitality, 8 IQ. Not the brightest crayon in the box. But, yeah, it doesn't look like I could reroll from this screen. Your card has all the names as a single character. Can you steal from another one? Looks like you cannot. The base is going to be 8 for these, except for luck is 9. Okay, so we're going to go with this. He's going to be a cleric. Keep this character. Okay, next character is going to be... this is going to be our front row dude. We'll put Gimli. No, we'll do Boromir next. Poor Sean Bean, he's not going to make it. Boromir, sweet. Create this character. Okay, he's a human, fighter, lord, so we want him to be good. And we want him to have strength. But do I want him to have other bits here? Let me see. I'm not seeing in here like an easy breakdown of what each of these does. Like there's a good, I have a good guess of what each of these do, but I'm not exactly certain. We might just have to roll with it. I don't really want to do this hunting all day long. Okay. All right. So, again, Boromir is going to be human fighter. So he needs at least 11 strength to be a fighter. That devotion seems pretty low. Oh, but it was the same amount. It was the same amount. Vitality, why not? We'll just kind of spread these out a little bit. Sure. That'll work. Okay, and then the next one is going to be Gimli, son of Glóin. Gimli is going to be a dwarf. And he is going to be a samurai eventually. But we want him to start as a fighter. Samurai actually needs to be evil. So we will have that be there. Whoa. Big stats, big stats. Huge stats. I think we could get his agility up a little bit more. I don't know, something like that? Sure, whatever. Okay, next character is going to be... Aw, darn it. So, no re-rolling? I thought I didn't reach the number... I thought I didn't reach 11 devotion and 11 strength the first time I tried Aragorn. I don't know. It's not like this is on recording or anything. Crash, how's it going? Oh, you're familiar with this one. Did you finish it? Did you beat it? What'd you think? Okay, this is going to be Legolas, son of Thranduil. Let go. Lass. Okay, he's going to be an elf. We want him to eventually be a ninja, which is evil. So we're going to go that way. And then this is a... What are we doing? Oh, a mage. Yeah, we want to be a mage. We'll just pump that in there. Why not? Let's just screw it all. Maybe we'll make him a little beef. Nah, he's fine. Boom. All of it. Max IQ. Will having good evil in the same party be an issue? No idea. We'll find out. Cinco is here today. How's it going? Oh, you missed our Soul Blazer playthrough. It was exquisite. I'm sure you're familiar with that game, though. It was in the interactive DVD menu for the Guy game. Get Out. No, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. One I've not heard of. Looked the same to me the first few times. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. It's on recording. Somebody could go back and look at it. I don't know. I know life this for a few months when I first got it. Oh, nice. Oh, it took a few months. It's giving me pause. Giving me pause. Okay. So yeah, there we go. It's gonna be a mage. Keep this character, and then we're going to go with Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom. I love that they've got Hobbit in here. We made a lot of characters. Wonderful. I would love your take on my characters here once we've figured all this out. So this is going to be a thief. In order to be a thief, it says he's got to be... Oh, shoot. I misread this. Darn. Okay, we got to go back and redo Gimli. But that's all right. We can take care of that. Okay, so the thief, I'm going to make him neutral. And for the thief, we want 11 agility, which you've already got here. Let's get a little bit more of each of those, and then we'll just, I guess, I don't know. Luck. Be a lady tonight. Keep this character, Frodo, and the last one will be Gandalf, the chartreuse. Gandalf, my old friend. We're going to make him an elf, and he is going to be our wizard. So we're going to start him as good. He can't be neutral to be a wizard. Pump that. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Keep this character. Okay, now, hang on. We need... get rid of all this. Unless they're holding something. I don't know if they are or not. Yeah, we're going to have to redo Gimli then. Because according to this, I thought it said it had to be evil in order to be a samurai, but he can't be evil in order to be a samurai. So he's a dwarf. He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf. Dwarf is what would have happened if you had Toriel and Keeley. Or was that Feely? I don't know. Samurai, we'll make him... good. Sure. Let me see. What did I write down for him? Gimli, dwarf fighter. Okay. So there's that. There's that. Get his agility up a little bit. Some that. And then we'll put the rest into that. Fighter. Okay. So now we have got... Let me reorder here. We have got Aragorn, Boromir, Gimli, Legolas, Frodo, and Gandalf. Aragorn is going to start off as our good cleric human. My goal for him is to become a lord. Boromir, a good fighter human. Goal is to become a lord. Gimli, good fighter dwarf. Goal is to become a samurai. Legolas is an evil mage elf. Does that check out? I want him to be a ninja. It does check out. He's got to be evil. And then Frodo is a neutral thief hobbit. And then Gandalf is a good elf mage. The dwarf? The dwarf. Slashy, how's it going? Sticking with party builds due to the alignment. Yeah, so how will alignment affect us at this point? Traveling in LA, luckily not downtown. Whew. I used to work in LA. Rough stuff. I'm glad you're back safe from your trip. Thanks for joining us again. I hope the trip was fruitful. I was going to say fruitful. No. Be very quiet. I'm hunting oaks and goblins. Urukai. I would pay to watch a Looney Tunes version of The Lord of the Rings. I would. Okay, so while we're on the topic of alignment, though, how is alignment going to muck about with this? Because now's the time before we get really into it. Let's see. Yeah, this walkthrough. Try to mix and matching your group. You'll find out quickly. There's some imposed restrictions on mixing good and evil parties. Having evil with good is going to be an issue. When I played Wizardry, I seem to remember only using good characters. Okay, so we may need to rethink Legolas then. But let's see if it'll let me. Let's see what happens. And if we got to redo Legolas, we can do that. Okay, what does inspect do here? Read spell. So we got some starting spells. Okay. Go here. And then we're going to add these broskies to a group. It is not letting us select Legolas, looks like. I don't see him. So watch, his name's going to disappear. Yep. Okay. So, let's redo that. Delete Legolas. And do that again. Good character, an elf. And what do you call an elf who doesn't have any Legos? Thranduil, of course. Let's see. Legolas, we want him to be... I guess another... We make him another mage. We'll go with that, just like Gandalf. Sure. There we go, wizard. Oh, we could just jump straight to that? I'm a little confused. Cleric does require good, yeah. Wizard and cleric specifically cannot be neutral. Apparently you could be evil as a cleric. So there's that. Let's see. So we're going to just start him off as... let's start him off as a... Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Start off as a wizard here. Okay, and then I do want to go ahead and... we'll have Gandalf stay as a mage for a little while, just for the variety's sake. And keep it like that. There we go. Okay, now... Let's see, is there anything on these starting characters? Like, if I was to, like can I... If I drop this stuff, can I snag it and use it on my own dudes, or how's that work? Yeah, you could have an evil cleric. I wasn't anticipating that. Was not anticipating that at all. Let me see here. Which you may expect attributes item a party member's holds. You may choose to equip a weapon or other such item onto a character, as well as trade items between other party members. Okay, consulting the manual. Strength, vitality, fighters, mages, clerics, blah, 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 blah. Training grounds, changing classes, Guildman's Tavern. There we go. Inspecting a character. 5 functions you can perform. These functions refer to any items held by the character. Equip allows you to get a weapon, armor, shield ready for use. Trade lets you trade items between characters. Pool gold takes all the gold from each character and gives it to one character. Read allows you to view the character's spells. Drop will drop any items you no longer require. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. What I'm worried about is if I click drop, is it going to like just completely throw those away? Or will I be able to dump them onto another character? Yeah, isn't this fun, Mr. Tepper? So far, we've done only menus. It's been a blast. Sarcastic. It says it gets rid of the items when you drop. The manual? So the manual said will drop any items you no longer require. I'm unsure if that means they will be discarded entirely. Apology accepted. But let's do the trade route to be safe. Okay. So we're going to remove the whiz. I'm the whiz. Oh, no, we didn't have to do that. Put the whiz back. We could just take the things from the whiz, put it on the first guy. Trade with whom? Trade what? What? I don't know about that. This might just be like basic stuff. Yeah. I don't think I need to worry too much about the equipment. What about pool gold? Are these guys carrying any gold? It doesn't look like it. 0 gold, 0 gold. Okay. Is there a pickup option? I don't know. Have I been doing character creation for over an hour? No, I have not, actually. We've read a lot of multiple walkthroughs, and we've read the sizable premise from the manual to open the stream. So we've done quite a bit other than just character creation. But so far, we've not been in the maze at all. Okay, so thing is here is we need to unequip. There we go. And then we're going to trade. There we go. So that's what you're saying, eh? So fighter 1 is now completely stripped. So then we could just dump everything onto. Oh, hang on. No, so there is going to be a main. It looks like there's like a main inventory, right? Because if it says right there longsword, leather armor, stuff like that, right? But if my dudes are starting off with this, then I don't know that I need to really worry about that. Let's see. Staff and robes. What about Boromir specifically? Yeah, we've got the longsword leather armor, so we don't really need to worry about it. This is all starter stuff anyway. I probably should have did that to the previous player's equipment, but that's all right. That would have been a little bit cheaty, so we won't worry about that too much. There we go. We've got Aragorn, Boromir, Gimli, Legolas, Frodo, Gandalf. Good cleric, good fighter, good wizard, or good fighter, good wizard, neutral thief, and good mage there at the end. Are you going to have a lot of fun? I think we shall. Character creation in this game lets you modify your junk like in Cyberpunk. Yeah, it absolutely does. Absolutely does. We could change all of the things about these characters, and it'll be rendered in incredible detail. Okay, now that we've got these folks, I guess we could start the game. All right, we did all that. There's a temple, there's a trading post. Oh, you know what? Remember it's PG chat, Dan, if you can. Dark Spire was quite good. Dark Spire. Oh, did anybody play Dark Spire? There it is. If you did it with the previous players, you wouldn't have been able to reset the dungeon. Oh, so even if you take their items and remove those characters, you couldn't do it? I guess that makes sense because that's still data from later on. Okay. Let's see. What was I planning to do next? Oh, you know what I could do? Let me try this. And we're going to take these dudes and we're going to unequip all their stuff. Oh, it automatically drops down, huh? That's handy. Unequip. No. There we go. And then the cleric. We're going to unequip. Mage. Unequip. Oops. Don't anticipating that's going to drop down. Okay. So then if I go here, I don't know if this is going to work. Trading outpost. I'm going to sell stuff. Nope. It's not letting you sell your old equipment. Well, they thought of everything, didn't? Oh, no. Here we go. Oh, they sell for 0? They thought of everything. Of course, you're going to use Lord of the Rings names, all caps. The foundation of all modern fantasy. Of course, we're going to use Lord of the Rings names. Last Dungeon Master I played, no, one before that, I used Seinfeld names, if that makes you feel better, Ray. Because you have it on Fighter 2. That's right. So if we go there, though, if we go there, none of this is worth any money anyway. So, oh well. We tried to at least get ahead a little bit. A little tiny bit. Boromir, Gimli, Legolas, Frodo, Gandalf. Okay, and then I don't like those dudes, so we're gonna boot them. Fighter, Fighter 2, Cleric, Thief, Mage, Wizard. Done, son, done. Was Newman or George the Dwarf? So this was Eye of the Beholder. I had George as a cleric, Kramer as a thief. It felt right. I believe Elaine was a mage, and then Jerry was a fighter, something like that. Why? Oh, there's so many fighters, and why is there so many dungeons and dungeon master? It doesn't make any sense. Wizardry 5 Part 1. This is going to be Part 20. Still won't be done with the game. That's what everybody says. And I can only do what I can do. In Might and Magic, these names are famous TV chefs. So it all makes sense when you battle the Cuisinart. I beholden. There's a joke somewhere, but I lost it mid-sentence. That's all right. Okay, I guess we're fair to start the game now. We're here to start the game now. Let's see what this says. Once you've chosen a party member, it's time for adventure. First order of the day is mostly to get a few levels on your characters. The first few levels will be easy to gain if you have a balanced party. Beginning in the maze will be a long corridor with a room to the right, and a sharp turn to the right with another door to the left. This game, they said ouch when I bumped into a wall. I don't like that. Don't like that bit. These areas will contain generally easy enemies such as green slimes, leech lizards, lady stingers, and the occasional bandit, troll, or pale warrior. The first 3 deal very little damage and are pretty easy to beat with a fighter. Bandit will be a bit stronger. The troll can be a menace to any non-fighters, and the pale warriors are your first undead creatures, so use Dispel if they're too much. First room you'll find will have the weakest enemies. Make sure you gather a few levels. Okay, so we'll do that. How to save on this game? Actually, I'm not sure how to do that. Oh, we absolutely will be using full maps 100% of the time. And people can scream about that all they want. This is very much going to do it. I did it my way. And so the end, it has come. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't actually really like that song that much anyway. So we are gonna use maps. Maps. You have to beat the game in one sitting. That's nice. These kinds of games can't be played like normal games. You're supposed to be drawing. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. The last two of these that I had to play on this system, I used Maps Online because there ain't no way. We're going to use John's Maps because I like his website. That's vgmaps.com. That's vgmaps.com. Let's go over the Super Nintendo, see if he's got it there, actually. Wizardry V, he does. Make your own maps with graph paper. I do not own graph paper. And also, it's very dark in here. And no. The Wizardry makes are nice because the auto map as you explore. That'd be nice. I remember graph paper from back in the day, but I haven't even seen graph paper at all recently. Here we go. This is looking nice. Exit the dungeon and go back to town. So just the act of returning to town is going to be the save feature. Here's the link that I'm going to be using for the map if you'd like to follow along. And let's go ahead and hit up the maze. Edge of town. Maze. Maze. It's not working. No characters are in the maze. But if I would like to use the maze... Maze. Now, it worked earlier. We have graph paper post-it notes. We very much do run in different crowds. What do you use graph paper post-it notes for? Doc, would you say that you're likely to get eaten by a grue? A grue? Always use graph paper even if a game had automat just for notes. I rarely keep notes like traditional notes in that sense. I do keep game criticism notes, but I don't use graph paper for that. .net. It's .com. Is it .com? Oh, it is .com. Yeah, you had me double check to look. All right. So what do I not got here right now that's holding me back? Oh yeah, there's nobody in my party. There we go. I had to kick him out and put him back in so many times I forgot to do it again. Okay, there we go. Entering Heart of the Maelstrom. Okay, so we start off at a camp. Oh, there's save right there. Inspect, save, reorder, memo, and leave. You know what? It feels better to have Gimli in the middle. Oh, no. This is weird. Okay, Aragorn, Gimli. Boromir, Legolas, Frodo, Gandalf. Okay, save. Save this expedition. Yes. Quick save party. Boom, baby. Okay. Let's see. Oh, he just said add your characters. Yep, there it is. We've been swapping so many characters back and forth because I was trying to see, like, hey, maybe I could sell the starting equipment. Hugh. And the thing was like, no. Logic designs. Do you do that for like professional stuff, or what do you do logic designs for? Just games in general? I have like 20 pages of notes for blueprints. Oof. Full on 8.5 by 11. Stairs leading up. New. Hello, area. So let me look at the map here. Let me take a look. If there's a place you gotta go, I'm the one you need to know on the map. Okay, I see it. So we're gonna come across a door on the right. Looks like. Oh, somebody did something. I didn't see it. Quest Moreland followed. Hey, thanks very much, Quest Moreland, for the follow. For work. What do you do for work? I definitely don't use graphic paper for work. Or graph paper for work, but that's awesome. Yay, ouch. Oh yeah, I need to have this map open like 100% of the time. So let me adjust my windows here. And then I guess a goal is going to be look for stuff. Not really sure what exactly to look for yet. Let me just take a while to look over this map. Undead and a bag of tokens. Chuck E. Cheese tokens? Let's see if we can figure out what that's all about. No. Oh, shoot. I just realized. Oh, there's no compass. Wow. That's a darn shame. That is a darn shame. Okay, looks like there's nothing down here then, because this should just be an empty room. Oh, an encounter! Okay, cool. This is it. Ooh, look at that fly, though. Black flies. So we've got fight, parry, dispel, spell, run, and take back. Let's do fight the black flies. What is that thing? Is that glitched out or what? Like on a scale of 1 to the 152th Pokemon. Are we doing an ouch count? Not a glitch. It just looks like that. This game makes me want to play Hexen. Oh, yeah. I could go for some Hexen right now. All right, turn this off. Software testing for complex systems. Oh, that's cool. It's an assortment of flying pixels is what it looks like. Flying creatures. Okay, well, we'll just do what we can here. And what does Legolas got? We got Catino and Halito. These are gonna be... Maybe try and remember what all this stuff is. Oh my gosh. Okay, spells. Wizardry. No, it's not even giving me that. Oh, you should keep track. You should keep track of the ouches. Means your party isn't aware of what the enemy is yet. Well, that's a weird way to represent that. It 100% looks like a glitch. Okay. I could have sworn I saw Catino on here somewhere. And then there's Halito. Okay, Halito is a fire line of spells. Deal with as many creatures as you can. So let's use that. Is a pain pre-internet? I imagine. This whole thing seems like a pain pre-internet. Should I ask Little Moses what he thinks the flying creature is? See what his imagination sees. Well, it looks like an unknown from Pokemon. Is what it looks like. No, I don't know. Halito! I don't know how I'm going to remember these goofy names. Let's throw it at the flying creatures and see what happens. We've got hide, parry, run, and take back. So we'll do that. And then we've got Halito again. Let's throw it on these things here. Fight. Aragorn lunges at Blackfly and hits once for 4 damage. Blackfly is destroyed. I'm not going to read all this, obviously. Blackfly attempts to needle Aragorn and hits once for 1 damage. Flying creature tries to sting Frodo and hits once for 1 damage. Blackfly runs away. Tries to chew up Frodo and misses. Yeah, it's a lot of this, obviously. Casts a missile. Flying creature takes 3 damage. Crying creature is defeated. Casts a Halito. Why don't you go get a Haritos? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like. It kind of looks like a bat or like a dragon or a Rorschach test. Gimli, son of Gloin. Legolas of the Woodland Realm. So we'll do this. I don't know what Catino does, so let's try that. Cast Catino. Blackfly is not asleep. Okay. So it's got to be asleep in order to use Catino. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, hey, look. It looks like exactly the same thing. That's kind of funny. I like how they're like, we don't know what that is yet. And also it may be exactly the other thing that we're fighting right now. Don't know. Can't be sure. Who knows? Yeah, we got nothing. So let's parry. And we've got hide or parry, I guess. We've got all our magic gone. So we're going to parry again. Oh, you're dead. You're dead. And only your fleas will mourn you. Each survivor gets 120 EP. A chest. You may inspect, Calfo, disarm, open, leave alone. Calfo. The same black flies but pixelated. It's funny, right? Because it's like, it's pixelated because you don't know what they are, but you're fighting the exact same thing right next to it. Can I do different voices when I read each character's parts? We're gonna blitz through the character things because that's a lot. Don't the enemies become pixelated when you learn what they are, basically. Yeah. You learn what they are, they're exactly the same thing as the other thing. It was dark in here. Continue is a spell that puts enemies to sleep. California, that chess. California. What does that do? Calfo. Calfo? Calfo. Wizardry V. Calfo. There we go. Some spells. Only useful when trying to determine if a treasure chest is trapped. Got it. Seems like that's pretty decent. It's funny that not knowing what it is makes it blurry to see for some reason. Like, I wouldn't know what a human looks like before I learn their name. Or like, if two humans were standing right next to each other and looked identical, like as identical as these two fly groups did. And you're like, I don't know what that is. Even though you're looking at the exact same thing. Okay, let's try Calfo. Who will cast Calfo? I don't know. Frodo? Probably don't have it. I don't know. Frodo of the Nine Fingers. There's going to be a lot of Frodo singing. I don't got nothing. Disarm. Trap. Oh, what the? Jack Sling, Vapor Coil, Rainbow Ray. Demon Eye, Sirens, Psionics, Magnetics, Lapis Spine, Teleporter, Astral Cube, Powder Keg, Figbee Fist, Dragon's Asp, Electric Bolt, Magic Drain. Let's just open this crap, because I don't know. Oh boy. Psionics. Oh, really? Okay, so let's try that. Frodo, Psionics. Oops, Jack's Sling. Frodo is defeated. Each character gets 15 gold points. Sweet, so Frodo is dead from opening a chest. Wonderful. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I did inspect it first, and it said Psionics. And so I clicked on Psionics, and then it said JK Jack Sling. Yeah, no kidding. We're like right here. Frodo of the No Fingers. Frodo of the No Fingers and the Ring of Doom, the Chest of Doom. Why does he have no fingers? Because he tried to disarm a chest and it said Psionics, but I clicked on Psionics and it said Jack Sling instead. I love how it's not actually like straight up. Oh, what? Nobody. Okay, so it did not save all that. So that's what a quick save was. So let's go ahead and just remake these broskies all over again. Really quick. Aragorn. I can spell Tolkien. Aragorn. I'm saying read. Oh, they're all there. There he is. He's fine. He's fine. Inspect through the reorder. Yeah, they're right there. So how come... Uh-oh. Now see, I don't know what's going on. Okay, according to this... Oh, you know what? Or are they still in the... They're still in the thing, huh? They're still in the dungeon. Oh, that's weird. That's weird to think about. Well, there's your problem. You have Boromir leading. Okay. That's pretty strange. That is pretty strange. It's hard to think in terms of you not being V party, right? So like you could be separated from the party. Like I'm back in town, they're in the thing. That's weird. Also strange that survivors of the trap get 15 gold each, like they have the other 15 for Frodo's corpse instead of divvying it up. Frodo's no longer dead, yay! Hurrah! And huzzah. Okay, that was after one battle. One battle. So now, we don't want to go all the way down. Where do we want to go? I'm not exactly seeing... Oh, yeah, we want to go all the way down. Oh, there's an ouch. There's an ouch. Okay, past this door. And then there's going to be like a thing right here. Inscription. You stand in the center of a great chamber. Engraved upon the floor are these peculiar marks. Catty corners, dotted line, you with a star, that thing, and lines in the road. Push A. Okay, good to know. I think Frodo had Frodo live here and we got a bit less. That's an ouch 3. That's an ouch 3. Okay, what else we got here? Let's go this way, I believe. Ooh, it's spooky. An encounter. The monsters surprised you. Blackfly bites at Legolas and hits for 1 damage. Jerks. You know what? Take all this. Stupid. Jalito. Hide. And we're going to save 1 Jalito. Use the other Jalito. That's just a fun word to say. It really makes me want some good Mexican food. Some really bomb Mexican food. There we go. Each survivor gets 40. All right. Back to this again. So I don't know. I don't think anybody right now has Calfo, I guess. Because it ain't doing nothing. Okay. If I were to inspect, though... Trapless chest. So let's open it and see what happens. Frodo, open that. Each survivor gets 14 gold points. So now what? Oh, it's dark in here. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. It's not there. An encounter in the dark. Oh, you surprised 2 acolytes doing acolyte stuff in the dark. We're at ouch 6 already? This is a really strong halitosis. Oh, halitosis. I get it now. 10? Dang. That's a lot. That's a lot. Wait, we don't have any more spell options? That's it? Yo, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, but I don't know... What can I do in the dark? Because it's friggin' dark in here. Is there any option? Doing acolyte stuff in the dark. Come on, Red. This is a family chat. Oh, okay. I'm out of line here. Is there any this is a dungeon one that's already darker, particularly more? Ouch. We'll be doing some off-stream grinding for this one. I'm going to have to not do that now, just completely out of spite. All right, what to do in the dark? It's dark in here. Oh boy. Oh boy, you guys. Let's see. So I am probably... Found nothing. Hidden items. Okay, I think... No. Yeah, I'm looking at the map. I don't know where the heck we are. There we go. Yay, I figured it out. So basically the map has like a little hallway in the dark, and then there's like a little square shaped room of 9 tiles. So I was trying to find the hallway exit from the 9 tiles. Figured it out. First rule of Wizardry: Wizardry don't give a crap about you. No, it does not care. This is for the braggarts and the... No, just kidding. This is one of those, like, we don't really care if this is fun or not. We're just going to make it as hard as possible. The news is that if you can't beat this game, you can beat any dungeon crawler. If you can't beat this game, you can beat any dungeon crawler? Oh, okay, can. What do you meant? If you can. Got it. With enough patience, right? I guess you could do anything. Okay, let's go to camp here. Save this friggin' expedition. Camp, inspect, reorder, memo, leave. So if I wanted to heal up and recharge my magic, would be the best way to do that at this stage in the game. Oh man, swipe text. I can't do swipe text. It's brutal. It's brutal. Oh, that was the portal to level 2 in that room. So it would have been rushing that for no reason anyway. An orb required. Not seeing really what else there is nearby, but I believe we can go here. Right, you gotta go out, right? Well, that's where the pushing A moves you forward. Walk in one step at a time. Use your cleric to heal everyone with magic, then get free MP refills. When does the MP refill? After every battle? Oh, no. Don't want that. Inspect, Aragorn, spell, Dios. Hits? Is that your HP on this? Read the manual earlier. It's all fading out. Yeah, nobody can type on phones. Phones are too small. You only get MP at the inn at the town. Got it. Okay, he's at 7. So, you know what's nice when you can scroll through your characters really easily? There's their HP. And at 8, they're all good. They're all good. Except for Legolas took a wee bit of damage. Frodo's almost toast. Frodo constantly dying. Let's use son Frodo. And then that's it. That's it. So they really expect you to hoof it all the way out now? To replenish MP at the end? Status is your max HP? Oh, status okay. I'm seeing you know, left and right, like the HP 8. It looked like left was your current HP and then right was your max. Okay. So if that's the case, I'm gonna wait, why can we not like step backwards? One would think. But I guess not. Yes. Okay. Here we are back at the end. Who will stay? You got to do it individually? The stables. Aragorn's napping. They just don't want to share their gold, so they have to nap individually, huh? Okay. All right. I could deal with that. Stables do not replenish HP. I think we could test that right now. With somebody had... Yeah, Legolas needs to recover a bit more MP. So, let's... Or HP, rather. So, let's recover that. And then... you can't step backwards. A sign upon the wall reads, "Enter ye who seek the heart of the maelstrom." Ouch. There's the stairs, aka a hole in the ceiling. And then let's do this one more time. $29. Oh, almost to 30. All right, back to looking at this map here. I'm going to go this way, and I want to go all the way up to this door. A temple of the Brotherhood, enter here ye worthy. A voice calls, "You forgot to bring the orb." Okay, so can't go in there yet without the orb. That's fine with me. Let's find out what else there may be in this tortured dungeon. It says there's a secret door right here. Well, there ought to be a secret door right there. Oh, yeah, we got to do this. Secret doors. Search. Found nothing. Okay, what about secret doors? Calorific? Calific. That didn't do nothing. Wait, did I just... Oh, my God. Yeah, it ought to be right here. Count all those ouches. So I'm not seeing an easy way to go through secret doors. Frodo, you're no help. California, that wall. Dream of California, that wall. Yeah, right? The old fantasy trope. Pretty sure that was in the Silmarillion. Okay, counting ouches. Sounds like a kid's version of counting crows. It can be done. Can be done. All right, so that's nothing. What else is there gonna be here? Let's go... And then we'll go all the way down here. Should pass a door on our left. Voila. Et voila. Et voila. And then we're going to want to go. Oh, it's so hard to see. There's a lot of teeny tiny little rooms right here. Teeny tiny little tiny rooms. There's a portal to level 4 behind a locked door right here. I don't think we want that. Oh, I see the orb. The orb of Little Quaffin. Oh, man. I can't believe that's not a JRPG right now. Let's see. What else we got? I don't want to go up that way Can I use a thief to unlock a door? Or do I have to find a key? There is a silver key up in the northern area, so maybe we'll go ahead and hit that up. Oh, wrong way. Okay, this is 2. Oh, man. We're like extremely lost. How lost are ye? So lost that there was nothing funny about it at all. You know what? A map would be... I mean, not a map. A compass would be super generous right now. Super generous. But alas and alack, there is no... I see. Okay, that's double pass. So now I want to go this way. No, I don't. Golly. This isn't as bad as 7th Saga. Okay, there should be a locked door over here. Door is locked. So can we use pick? Who will pick the lock? Frodo. Pick that lock, boy. The lock did not open. You're using a full-on guide map, not just a map. Yeah, I'm using a map that has locations of items. So otherwise, yeah, no. Remember I'm saying this isn't as bad as 7th Saga. Remember that one time Red was wrong? Do you live for this or what? Okay, here, look. Here's the thing. We're gonna pick this door one more time. Pick the dang door. Frodo, do it again. You just see Gandalf threatening Frodo. Like, what is the point of a thief if you can't even pick the dang lock, sir? All right. I have expected to say Frodo has died after picking the pick lock. Heart you, except in Temper's words, that just means screw you. Yeah, no, shall not pass. We're not getting in that way. Let's see. We're here at the end of a hallway. Oh, my gosh. A huge gamut of doors. Okay, there should be 3 doors. Yes. 3 doors. And my goal is to get... Good grief, man. There's a silver key on the right side of this area. So I'm going to go this away. Friggin' ouch. Wait, no, that didn't work? Oh. That one, and that one. Okay. And then basically all the way down here. Oh, shoot, but there's another locked door. So, no, I don't think so. The way leads to a pitfall trap. I wasn't born yesterday. Neither was the internet with its helpful maps. Yeah, we should just be able to follow this all the way down. An encounter! Oh no. Ooh, a ghostly figure. A ghostly figure. Figures! That would be a ghost. Aragorn. Gimli. Boromir. If I use Dispel, is that gonna... Well, let's try it. Let's try it without. We'll just do the thing here. Misses. Oh, Aragorn is paralyzed. Nice. Wonderful. Okay, let's try Halito and see if that does anything against this ghost. Okay, that at least does something. Resists the spell. Oh, really? And he's out. Ambush. What? Run. Okay, how do we cure paralysis here? Oh, there's no. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, and now we know it's an ice phantom. Hey, that is a cool looking sprite though. Let me try this Halito one more time. No, you're supposed to be... No, okay, run. Oh my gosh. Slime attempts to needle. Where? I don't see it. I don't even see a slime. Got nothing. Oh, there he is. He's way down there at the bottom of the screen. Yay! Stuff. Calfo, that's not going to help nobody. Disarm that crap. Chest was not trapped. Sweet. Alright. The menu covers it. Because this is Snake is Swam. Cure the magic, but you don't have the spell yet. You need to go back to the church to remove paralysis. Oof. Woof. Especially crazy considering how deep this dungeon is. Okay, let me see. Oh my gosh, like let me go ahead and save here just in case the trip back does nothing. Okay, this door is locked. I do want to see if we could pick it. I don't know. Pick that. The lock did not open. You shall not pass. Okay. And in county. Oh no, it's a ghost. I don't like ghosts. We're not gonna fight no ghosts. I am afraid of ghost. Not that way. So I wonder if this game will top Koei for being the ultimate stream killer. I don't know, but there's like a kind of masochistic delight I'm sensing from a lot of people for this game. Creeping things. That's a little terrifying. I don't know if the Koei curse will be as threatening with this. One more. There we go. Yay! Save after every step because this game brutal. This game brutal. What's up there? That, my friends, is where we need to go. Oh, hang on. There's a secret door up there with the laughing kettle. Don't know what that is, and I don't know how to open secret doors. So for now, we're just going to head on back to our destination, which is the church, I guess. That should be a locked door. And then... Hang on, I lost my place. Go this way. Man, my kingdom for a friggin' compass. Okay, I think I know where I am. Should be the plaque. Yep. Get me out of here. Follow the steps leading up. Okay, we made it out. Sweet. Whew. Let me see. How does this compare to Draken? Draken is a breeze compared to this game. Even though the very first enemy in Draken can demolish you. Which is a little different from this. Let's see. Some pixel bard. Gotta ask, how does this compare? So you probably have to dispel the ghost, but Aragorn can... Yeah, I missed my chance to dispel because he was paralyzed. I think this game will remain interesting to watch for a couple streams, but novelty will wear off long before you beat it. Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, absolutely. Which we can't all be uncharted waters. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be the same thing as the Koei curse, but it may be pretty significant. Okay. Back here at the inn. No, not the inn. We go to Temple of Cant. Aragorn, paralyze. Who will tithe? We'll make Aragorn do it. Oh, somebody else has to do it because sheep apostates? Dang. I guess nobody has 100 gold right now, so we're going to have to pool gold together. That's the first time a video game has ever called me cheap apostates. Let's see. How much gold are we carrying? 47. So we're going to pool all the gold on Gimli. And then we'll go ahead and go to the temple. Paralyzed Gimli. Murmur, chant, implore, invoke. Aragorn is cured. Sweet. So where is he? We have to re-add him for some reason. I guess he like heals up in the tavern, I guess. Okay. He needs to be back at the start though, because that's just how things go. Oh, no, there he is. He's back at the start. Okay, now what? I don't know why it kicked them all out. But it did. It did. How about the trading post? What else we got here? Uncurse, identify, pool gold. Weapons, armors, short sword, mace, hand axe. Let's buy a mace. So let's pool gold. We're going to buy a friggin' mace. I needed someone. And then we're going to inspect, and then we're going to equip a mace. Keep your shirt on. Okay, staff is not worth anything. We need to grind at least level 4. Okay. You remember correct ghostly enemies. Oh, earwigs in your veins. How's it going, earwigs in your veins? Thanks for joining us. First time playthrough of Wizardry 5. On the journey to beat every Super Nintendo RPG. Sarge, thanks very much for the good luck. I will take that. Happily we'll take that. But yeah, we'll probably be doing some grinding off stream. Because, woof. I don't know. I still got to play Uncharted Waters off stream, though. So we might be getting ahead of ourselves there. All right. We bought a mace. Let's go back and do some level ups. Ray, VGM, did you write a fact for this one? Out of curiosity. Okay, now let's see how far I can get into all this. 2, there's gonna be what is that? Voice echo? Can't get to 3, can't get to 5. Can't figure out how to open that secret door. There is a locked door there, there's a locked door there. Let me see. Wait, is this right? Oh, yeah. What a pain in the neck to get through all this. Okay. I'm going to come up here. Ugh. Who in their right mind would build a structure like this? The architects are mad. Mad, I tell you, mad. Okay, back to the 3 doors room. And... oh, there's another ouch. Now let's see what is the dealio down here. Door's locked. Of course it's locked. Let's use a pick and see what happens. Pick that. Look at the tunnels under Paris. I feel like Ray VGM wrote like 90% of game facts. You hate like them. So have you written a fact for this one, though? As if so, I'll use it. The tunnels under Paris. Okay, that didn't work. I wasn't looking, but I already know it didn't work. What is Desto? It is your destiny. Door that is locked. All right, let me check this guide here and see what they want me to do. Bandit, dispel, unpaled first room. Weakest enemies, make sure you gather a few levels. Ideally, you want your mazes to be capable of casting Mahalito. So before we explore too far... so I guess we'll just run back and forth in the first bit to get ourselves some level ups before going too far. We're going to find my way back. Oh, an encounter! It's a slime. It's a slime. So I already fought a slime. How come it's still all weebly? Oh, 4 gold. Wow. So generous. How luxurious. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want this. 2 inspects. He's using a mace. It said Aragorn stabs at the slime. And I was like, I don't know if you're using that right, bro. And turns out, haven't written a fact for a Wizardry game. Okay. I thought I'd ask. No shame, obviously. I thought I'd ask just so I could use one in your presence. I thought that'd be fun. What else we got here? This is gonna be... that's a locked door. So there's gonna be... oh, no, an encounter. 3 men in robes. So even though you don't know what it is, it's... I don't care for this pixelating thing. That's weird. That's really weird. Like, it says they're men in robes, but you're like, but they're blurry men in robes. Could be anything. You don't know. I don't know. Oh, they're all dead. Okay. All right. Good thing I saved. I bet the men are naked under the robes. They probably are. You know you're naked under your skin, right? Oof. Yeah, the pixelation is dumb. That's a stupid effect. It doesn't even make sense, really. Like, if it was, like, 2 ? And then the first time you killed one, you're like, oh, they're men in robes. And it, you know, it depixelized. But, like, I've fought slimes multiple times. It says in the thing. Okay. They're dead. I think I'll probably wind up where Ray is and hate like this game. You see what they are, you just don't know what to call them. And I feel like other RPGs did that, right? Where, like, it'd be a new enemy, and so it just says ? And you can't see their health bar. Even though you can clearly see the object of the enemy, right? Oh, yeah, they're in the thing. Start with your out party. Welcome to the out party. So I don't know. What should I do? Just like go back and forth here? I guess so. Lady Stingers. Kind of dumb that the screen covers the enemy too. Kind of a little dumb. Not that dumb. Only a little dumb. Oh, he didn't have his Halito anymore. Neither does he. I gotta make sure I do that again. The Stinger is destroyed. Aragorn is destroyed. Okay. All right. Let's check all this. The battles in this game are a nuisance, not fun. Just break up the fun and exploring. I could dig turn-based battles, but yeah, it's a little. There's a lot that it's wanting you to jump through. A lot of hoops. A lot of hoops. Like if it was just like normal stuff, it wouldn't be so bad. But there's a lot going on in those battles. Okay, start game. Okay, edge of town. Restart with an out party. Bit. Okay, now let's go back and, or let me see about this. Check for spells. Do have some Dios. Go ahead and use one on yourself. Oh, that barely healed anything. Just to be extra inconvenient, I guess. Oh my goodness. Whoops. Frodo. Gandalf. There we go. Okay. And then let's go ahead and see. Boromir, Gimli, Frodo. Frodo's fine. Legolas needs some healing. Gandalf is fine. Okay, good to know. Boromir. And Gimli. Okay, and then who? I have Boromir right here. Okay, and then Legolas is going to need a bit of healing. Oh man, they're like just trying to make this as inconvenient as possible, huh? Legolas. He's going to just stay at that amount of HP because honestly, Venture's in. I'm going to stay here. Swoop it by. So if we want to have Legolas recover just a little bit of thing, this is napping. Maybe that was like a little bit of health. Let me check. Inspect Legolas. No, then a cot didn't even recover 1 HP. I think you can hide or minimize the character boxes in the options. I'll have to go over that sometime. Okay, so save that and just keep going. For reptiles. All right, just breeze through all this. Hey! Should save again because this game. So now, quick save though. If I were to reset the game, that's not actually saving, is it? I don't think it is. That's actually coming out here, returning to town. I get stables is all you need as long as you abuse the cleric heal spell. But it's pretty irritating to play and to watch. I imagine having to go back and forth to the stables, use Dios spell twice when it won't even heal 10 HP. So yeah, that's some pretty slow going. I was curious to see what the cot would do, but it looks like that doesn't even do anything really. So yeah, that's pretty slow going. Pretty slow stuff. Boromir is going to be fine. Well, let's use it again. Just because we can. This is why people play JRPGs, you know? Okay. Get another encounter here. Slimies. They ought to be fine. Ba ba da ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba da ba. It's see, I already fought this. As that is weird that it's still like, I don't know what that is. Could be anything. Should I be bothering with upgrading equipment at this point? We're not really getting a ton of money. We're just getting a little trickle. A little baby trickle of money. Oh, come on here. Thanks, Dragon Quest, for simplifying this and all creating exactly. Exactly. It's not hard to understand why so many people love JRPGs. You have to keep returning does make progress feel really good. The way you have to keep returning makes progress feel really good? I don't know. Does it? Okay, sleepy bye right there. And now we got to do this whole shenanigans again. Let's see. So he's going to use it on himself. And then got Boromir's only one down. Gimli's only one down. Legolas 2 down. So we'll go ahead and use the second one on Leggy. On Legume. Aragorn always taking those naps. So, and again, to clarify, the game auto saves when you return to the game saves when you return to town, because this is just a quick save. I don't understand. I want to be sure though, so we're not losing all that precious progress. There we go, Netherman. The sprites are good in this game. When you can see what they are. Gandalf use Halito. Gandalf use Halito. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be like that. Almost got me. Imagine putting that work into sprites and making them look like crap half the time. Yeah, that's not great. They do look pretty terrible when they look like that. Like, again, like why? The sprites look marvelous when they're large, they're detailed, they're beautiful, they look like paintings. But when you pixelate them like that, they look terrible. They look awful. Can he just waffle? It looks waffle. How are we doing on health here? Oh, Boromir's about to bite the dust. Bum bum bum. Bum, 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 bum. So let's use Dios on Boromir. And let's do it again. And then we'll go ahead and, whoops, bump our way out of town. Aragorn Nappy Poo. maze. Quick saves your party's stats and items you collected. Okay, so what is like the main save function then? Because I want to do. I don't know if it happens in this game, but in NES Wizardries, you counter an enemy whenever you enter a door. Maybe entering and exit rooms will trigger battles faster. We could try that. We could certainly try that. Triggered one that time. Okay, imagine putting that. Oh, I read that. Alright, just breeze through this. Okay, saying before about status being max health was when you walk around, you can see all 6 of your characters' current and max health. You don't need to open the menu for each. Hits are current, and status is max. Oh, uh-oh. Time for somebody to die here. Inspect. Trapless chest. Each survivor gets 11 gold. So it looks like it's not super triggering when you enter a room, but it is right here. At least there's some slimes. It's not super reliable, but it's something. Okay, so right here, status. That's what you were saying. I thought you were referencing where it says status OK on the main menu. So we've got hits and status. Confusing way to lay that out, but I'm glad that we know what it is. There's no main save function. You can't save to start in a specific floor. You always have to retrieve your out party and always start in the first floor. You save your party. So a quick save is the game's save. Yeah, it is a confusing way to pay it out for sure. Fight it out. Oh man, I could be playing Ogre Battle right now. That's all right. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. Sun shines on the just and the unjust. That sort of thing. And that is certainly faster to look at it this way. Gimli is not looking so hot, so let's save here. I think we can go a bit further before actually... Oh yeah, I keep forgetting back spins you around. Yeah, it's looking like the doors aren't a super reliable way to trigger an encounter. But every once in a while, there's one that will trigger right here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh. I spoke too soon. Maybe there's a higher chance of an encounter taking place right here. Ray, you got to write that guide so I can use it. When was the last time you played this one, Ray? Reptiles, oh no, doing stuff. Okay, Gimli at half health. Let's have these broskies use some spells here. Oh yeah, we did not have Gandalf heal. That was a decent amount. Let's get out of here now. And a couple things. We still have the spells. The Dios. Yeah, the Dios. And one more for Gimli, Son of Gloin. And that's pretty good. But let's go ahead and sleep at the Inskis. How's it going, Addy Sensei? Wizardry. That EHH. Wizardry. I think I read that as a groan. There are other wizardry going through a door has over 90% chance of encounter. It seems like there's a decent upgrade to then getting an encounter going through a door, but I'm not sure what that percentage is. Okay, let's go here. So, Addy Sensei, are you familiar with the greatness of wizardry? Legolas napping. That's so weird to me that we can't just do them all. We can't just nap all at once, right? You have to like individually nap them. They have to go down to their nappy by individually. What about getting more armors? More armors. Like Boromir could get a better weapon. He's got a long sword right now. Oh, Gimli needs an axe. And my axe. Because why would he not have an axe? Yeah, we're going to have to pull stuff for. There's a warhammer. That's pretty rad. There's only one bed, so they have to take turns. Why does it have to be like this? Why is it gotta be like this? I just want to go into town and hang out and pick up some power converters. Let's see. Further on the corridor, north of the Temple of Brotherhood. Okay. Well, that's no help. So, I guess I'll buy an axe. Let's see if we pool stuff together. Pool gold. Oh, we got a lot of money here. Let's get a warhammer. That sounds so rad. Okay, let me take a poll from chat. Gimli, son of Glyn, should I buy him a hand axe or a warhammer? And is there going to be some like tricky, stupid stuff in this? Like, well, warhammer has incredible offense, but it only hits 1% of the time. I think the free bed only raises your level once you have enough other beds heal you a bit. So yeah, the free bed heals our MP, which is what we want to get free heals from our cleric. So that's what we've been using that for. As someone who's exposed a lot with Etrian Odyssey, I know a bit of Wizardry since we talk a lot about Dungeon Crawler and EO groups. Oh, that's cool. We were talking about Etrian Odyssey earlier. I've never played it. And my axe. He has to have an axe. Sure. And then that doesn't dump all our money. So let's get him an axe. And then why not some armor too? What does he have on right now? It'd be nice if it showed you. I don't know. So let me go ahead and go to the tavern, because then we have to like individually equip this. Okay, and then we're gonna add my axe. There we go. He has leather armor on. Is that what they all have? Yes. All right. Then next, Boromir could use a weapons upgrade. Let's do that. I'm going to buy weapon. Short sword, long sword, mace, hand axe, pike, warhammer. I don't know. There's a torch and a lantern. Dios Latumofis. Makes that embraces, ring of Madi, amulet of rainbows. Holy smokes, that's expensive. Gauntlets. The helmets. Target, he's got to have a shield. Got to have a shield, because that's Boromir's thing. Pull that gold. Okay, we'll buy him a shield, a heater shield. And then we will go ahead and buy him a... maybe, I guess, a pike. Yeah, so the characters... James. So the characters... It's weird, right? The characters individually hold money. You can either pool that money or, I guess, transfer it. Divvy it up however you wanted to. We'll go ahead and buy him a... Maybe I'll save for the Warhammer. Oh, we got more. Super Basher, Longbow, Thieves Bow. You know what? Maybe like a bow on Frodo would make him more useful. So I might save up for that. Oh, a staff. Your staff. Let's get a staff for Gandalf. Just keep it in the family. Buy weapon. Go up. Yeah. Wait, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Staff. Okay, and then I'm going to save the rest for now. Gandalf, you're going to have a staff and robes. And let's see. Everybody else is good. Legolas, Aragorn, Boromir. We equipped. Oh, we got to equip the heater shield. Glad I checked. And Gimli, hand axe. Okay. Cool. Neat. Fantastic. Wonderful. Back to the maze. Save the expedition. I think it is, yeah. It's an odd way to go about it, isn't it? This ain't no Soul Blazer, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. A wandering group of leech lizards. Sure, I'll fight them. I don't know how tough these are supposed to be, so we're just gonna go all out here. I mean, look at that sprite. That was pretty wonderful. Nice. Blew right through those. This is a great way to crank it to the walls here. You know what? I think you're onto something here, Ray. It does seem like we're getting a higher encounter rate going through doors. But it's not super reliable. I don't know. Maybe I spoke too soon. Now we're not getting any at all. Where's my leech lizards? Oh my goodness. Okay. It's like we killed everything. Where's all the enemies at? There, finally. Some reptiles. Let me take a peek at health here. Don't want it to go down too far. Seems like after upgrading some weapons, they're not as crazy here. Dragonfire X Nova. How's it going, my friend? Are we familiar with each other elsewhere on the internet? Your name kind of does look familiar, but I'm not sure. If not, I'll give you the whole introductory spiel. Happy to always do the spiel. This is, as you can see from my flummoxing, this is my first time playing Wizardry V, Heart of the Maelstrom. Oh yeah, cruising through these a lot more quickly now. The battles, I mean. Doors have always been fairly quick. No. You know what? Let's go ahead and have him use that. And one more. Why not? There we go. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeed, we're familiar with each other elsewhere on the internet. I imagine so. Am I crazy, or do you usually say enemies instead of enemies? I do. It's like amber lamps or Paschetti or something like that. One of my kids, when they were really young, might have said enemies. So it's just, you know, the friend of my anemone is my frenemone. Something like that. It's just fun to say. Fun to say words. The English language is really beautiful, even when it's gibberish. Oh yeah, crushing these things now. Crush them into the dust. Let's go back out here. Flummoxing. I don't know if flummoxing is a word, but being flummoxed is a word. Flummoxing might be a word. Something that causes the flummoxation. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost to a level up. Almost. Okay, starting to get a hang after like 2 hours. Starting to get the hang of how this is flowing. That really does not heal a lot, does it? I could see why they're like, you're gonna want a lot of clerics. Okay, you're just gonna. So far, Frodo, you're not pulling your own weight over here. But I have half a mind to let Gandalf be a cleric. Or Legolas. Well, he's happily a wizard. Just for the extra heals is. Oops. That's confusing. An encounter. Demolish these putzes. What does Gandalf say on Lord of the Rings? Send these foul creatures to the abyss. Or he sounds about send these foul creatures to the abyss. I remember Ian McKellen, who has a higher register than that, talking about how they dropped his voice in post instead of, sounding like Magneto. Creeping Thing is destroyed. I like the name Creeping Thing. It's fairly creepy. Creepy, yes? Oh, we're out of Dios. And it may be time for our first level up after all those fights. Let's go find out. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. We're going to sleep at the thing. You made the next level. Yay. Hurrah and huzzah. You learned a new spell. You gained Devotion, Vitality, Luck, and 5 hit points. That's decent. That is decent. Okay, next person, Boromir. Boromir napping. Gain Devotion, Vitality, Luck, and 2 hit points. And next dude is Gimli. You gain Strength, IQ, Agility, Luck, and 4 hit points. Alright, next is Legolas. Oh, he didn't gain because he's an elf. Frodo napping. Gain IQ, Devotion, Luck, 3 hit points. And Gandalf. You learned a new spell. You gained Strength, Agility, Luck, and 2 hit points. Sweet. What was the new spell? I missed it. I don't know. Let's see if we can't find out. We're going to save first because this game. Brutal. We've got Dumapic. I'm going to need... He's a liar and a thief. I almost made a golem for a thief in here, but... yeah. There we got the level. Woohoo. For those of you that don't know, hey, we're playing through every Super Nintendo RPG. It's been a blast. This is probably a great place to stop. I am now feeling a bit of the enjoyment of this game because we got the little reward. And this to me is like game design. Like you can provide challenges to the players, but there has to be a carrot at the end of the stick, right? There has got to be the item at the end of that fishing pole that they're dangling ahead of you. Eventually you have to have it. They have to feed the player something. Getting a little bit of that level up is good. And then I feel like that was a significant level up, even though it was like the first level in the game. So now look, like I'm safe to save this and turn it off, right? Like that's the saving of the thing. Do I have any hope for the new Gollum movie that Andy Serkis is making? There never was much hope. Just a fool's hope. No, I don't know. I like that Andy Serkis is making it. I don't think that Peter Jackson is an incredible director if he has too much freedom. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy is incredible, but then you watch The Hobbit and you're like, yeah, I think some of the Peter Jackson-y stuff is like Legolas skateboarding down the stairs on a shield and, the barrel sequence and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that is Pete or not. But for this, I hope that it's one, less CG, more practical effects and physical location shooting, so that it doesn't look like you're watching a video game the whole time. And I hope that it's a really earnest movie, that it takes itself seriously, that it doesn't try to be, yeah, hopefully it uses the same actors. So here's the thing, though, is Ian McKellen is in his 80s, I think, now. And he fell off a stage not too long ago. So Ian McKellen's kind of expressed apprehension about playing Gandalf again. Andy Serkis has gone gray. His hair is silver now. So I don't know how much he could do of jumping around as Gollum. Aragorn, there was supposed to be a part for Aragorn in it. But I'd read that Viggo Mortensen is now as old as Ian McKellen was when they first shot Fellowship of the Ring. Which is like, what? That's kind of crazy. The barrel sequence is ridiculous, but it is in the Hobbit book. The part where they're bouncing off of multiple orcs, like combo breaker, is not in the book, obviously. In the book, basically, they escape from the prison by hiding in barrels, and then those are carried off downstream, and they awaken when they're taken out of the barrels at Lake Town, and they're weakened, and that's the end. There's no action sequence there. There's no, we got to climb out and get the sluice. We're being chased by orcs and elves, and we're jumping on each other's heads and bouncing around, cartoon physics. Zero of that in the book. So, obviously for a movie, an action film, you have to put action sequences in it. So I get why they did that. Would I like it to have been less CG and less, crazy physics? Yeah. Hey, Sanka, you dead yet? Sanka. Cinco. No, we're not. We got level 2, which is nice. It is lucky they came out the way that they did, considering, right? So I don't know if Guillermo del Toro's 2 movie vision would have been better. It's hard to tell. A lot of the things in The Hobbit seem like studio decisions as well. I think the biggest mistake of the Hobbit films is the third film is just terrible. I think the first Hobbit movie is great, but I think they probably could have stuffed the rest of that into a second movie rather than drag it out to 3. But could have been a studio decision. I don't know. Maybe Andy Serkis Hobbit will be good. I'm not exactly hanging out with bated breath here. So yeah, I can't say either way, really. But wasn't Legolas the one jumping around? If we're talking about Peter Jackson's elves, yeah, if we're talking about book elves are not action heroes. Book elves are not, ninja or anything like that. Book elves are very much not what you see on screen. But things like, again, Legolas skateboarding down the stairs or killing an Oliphant single-handedly and then sliding off Fred Flintstone down the trunk, that's all movie elf stuff. But yeah, they're jumping around. Like there's a part where Bombor, the really fat dwarf, like is bouncing over orcs on top of or inside a barrel, and then like he busts his arms through the sides and has 2 axes, and he's like dual wielding, spinning. It's an action sequence for a blockbuster film, but it's very much not how it goes. A 2.5 hour stream. We reach level 2. And it's considered a success. Great success. Yeah, that's probably gonna be as far as I make that in here. So, but yeah, Ray, I think getting at your question, there's degrees. I always want to say there's degrees because like you got to put an action sequence in there because it's an action movie, even though the book is not an action book. You got to put an action sequence in there. What you do in that action sequence to either be believable or funny or intense or create tension, there's an innumerable amount of choices that could be made there. So that's one sequence where like the entire theater was laughing, including myself, because it's ridiculous. It looks really funny, but it also looks really fake. So I don't know. Again, I hope that Hunt for Gollum is an earnest film. I won't say serious because I think that these movies benefit from a little levity. The book is not very funny, but if you're gonna see a 3-hour movie, having a little comic relief is good. And Andy Serkis Gollum helps with that for sure. Fellowship did a great job of balancing action. Two Towers did for the most part. After that, we got a big. So yeah, really. I mean, of the original trilogy, Return of the King is certainly the worst. My favorite is Fellowship. I also think that Fellowship is the most like the book, even though there are significant deviations in Fellowship. And that's the thing too. We were talking about Rings of Power. There's huge lore inaccuracies and deviations in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. You accept that because I think Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings captures a lot of the spirit and intent of the book, even though things are changed from the book. Whereas that kind of, gets worse and worse the further out from those movies that you get. Fake physics in Lord of the Rings is a bit ridiculous, but it's way worse than The Hobbit. Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I've seen the Hobbit trilogy multiple times. I still enjoy watching them. The third movie I kind of have to hate watch. I really think that they could have spent more on the dwarves and less on Tauriel and Fili's weird love thing, or Bard's boring children. Certainly the horrible rendition of the Master and the Hobbit movies, Grima Wormtongue. The third Hobbit movie is a disaster. Helm's Deep is an incredible sequence. There is a YouTube video, and I'll end with this because I could talk about Lord of the Rings forever. Come back tomorrow and let's talk about Lord of the Rings, because I could do that all day long. Please, I'm begging you, because I will need to talk about something to get through playing Wizardry. I saw a couple of these videos online. I think they're from IGN, where they have a guy who teaches swordplay, and he's studied history of war, talk about some of the scenes in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and what's historically accurate and what isn't. There was a lot that I was surprised that was historically accurate. Obviously, there's other things like, hey, they made real armor. Like, you could tell watching the Lord of the Rings that, like, that's not plastic. That's real armor. Those are real swords. And I think that goes a long way. Never read any of the books. So, Ray, I am actually thinking about this. And I swear I will leave with this. I'm planning to start a Middle-earth book club, because a lot of people I know have never read Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or any of that. And then, there's tons of books beyond that. I love reading these books. I reread them a lot of times. I would love to read through The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, The Children of Húrin. I'd love to read through those with others on a schedule, a chapter a week or something like that, and discuss it afterwards and have chit-chats about it. Again, this is my favorite universe. It's been a huge comfort to me my entire life. Reading through the Middle-earth books got me through a lot of difficult times when I was young. And it's been one of those fandoms where I don't interact with too many fans, so it's not like the Final Fantasy fandom where people are like, you're not welcome here because you don't like this ship, or something like that. So that's what I appreciate about Middle-earth, and I'd love to share that with people. You should stream once a week where you read through a book on stream with all your voice talents. Oh, I'd love to do that. Would we love to do that? We could do that. Maybe on like a Saturday or something like that. We could do like a read through. Maybe I mean, they're tough books to read. Maybe The Hobbit. About to start reading through The Wheel of Time. I've heard those are really good. Never read it. Have you read? Who here has never read a Middle-earth book? Town and the Bard. Yeah. All that is really overblown. If you want a great adaptation of The Hobbit, watch 1997's Rankin and Bass Hobbit. It's an animated film. It's one movie. There's a lot that they can't put in that one movie, but everything that's in there is 100% from the book. And it has a kind of bigness to it that conveys the size of Middle-earth. But anyways, stuff to think about. I'd love to read with you guys. I have thought about streaming a reading stream a long time ago. I don't know if that's legal. But yeah, We'll have to think about that. I'd love to do it. Only read Lord of the Rings by listening to unabridged audiobook. I count that as reading. I really do. It's not identically the same thing, but it counts for sure. I've read The Hobbit many times. The Hobbit is a great, wonderful, breezy for Tolkien, for sure. But Lord of the Rings is very, very wordy for sure. Okay, my friends, I will talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. This is not the easiest game to play. Certainly not the easiest game to watch. But I hope you come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about book stuff tomorrow. Maybe I could do like a Saturday stream, reading through The Hobbit. Then we could go to Lord of the Rings. It would take forever, but it could be fun. And maybe we'll do a book club. Let's go, Boromir. King Real Legal. King Real Eagle. Something like that. Hey, you know what? I'm just about to sign up. Yeah, I mean, there's 6 books in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They're enormous. Because each, the Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King, each breaks down into different books, into 2 different books. So yeah. Hey, so I'll be back on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central. Sorry to bail. Everybody's having fun chatting, it sounds like. I'd love to chat with you tomorrow. Please come back, chat with me. I'm begging you. I need the company while we're playing Wizardry. But until then, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.